So she sees her guy, she's like, what the hell is this? When he's sleeping at night, he pulls on my blanket. I don't like him, I hate him. He's like, oh, where should I pick now? I'm nerdy nerd and I want the content. And these girls like, please don't pick me. Look at their faces. So I heard about this show, dubbed the Chinese Singles Inferno. And being a former dating coach, I had to take a look. In this video, we will go through. I've heard that this is a pretty crazy show. Okay, so these 4 girls arrive at the house. These 4 guys arrive at the house. Okay, there is a lesson here. You know, right away when a guy walks into a room, right, women can tell whether or not within the first 7 to 10 seconds if she's open to sleeping with him in the future. Not that she wants to sleep with him, not like guys where it's like, oh, I would sleep with that, I would sleep with that, I would sleep with that. Women are more like, okay, that guy looks cool. The possibility of eventually being physically intimate with him is not closed, okay? So that's how women think. Now, when you look at this group of 4 guys, the first thing you'll notice is that most of them have really bad style. This guy's just wearing a t-shirt with jeans. This guy looks like a dorky nerd. This guy has some color to his shirt, but this guy just has, again, a t-shirt and jeans. The second thing you'll notice is what we call default facial expression. So look at these guys' face. It's like, your default facial expression is the face you have when you're not thinking about anything. It's the default. Back when I was a nerdy nerd, my default facial expression was,
hey, how you doing?
Right? It took me a couple of years to be like, all right, this is my default, what's up, right? Now, it doesn't mean I'm always like this, but I'm more dominant with my facial expression because I want to create attraction. I want people to feel like I'm making an impact, okay? You'll notice Chinese girls, a lot of times they're holding these like stuffed toys or like a pillow. It's a very cutesy culture. Okay, so... When you first meet someone, whether you're on a first date, a blind date, or online date, you are going to recognize someone's micro expressions. Initial reaction is very hard to fake. So you're either happy to see them, or you're just like, I hope he has a good personality. Okay? That's why in dating as a guy, if you can't get your presentation up to the point where it's acceptable, most women that see you, it's just like an uphill battle. It's very, very hard to convince a woman who's not physically, at least somewhat thinks you're presentable to start falling for you, okay? And in this case, it's like the opposite reaction, which is like, I kind of disgusted. Like this guy's, he doesn't have his style down. You know, obviously genetically, these guys are not the most gifted, but if that's the case, you still have to work on your style. You have to, you know, work out your body, make sure you have a good hairstyle. If you're losing hair, you know, figure out a way to make it look better, either with a hat or shave it off, or maybe with a different style. But none of these guys do that. This guy's literally just, you know, a regular guy with glasses and a bad haircut. And he looks lost. He's like, where do I put this? What's going on? Just, look, I don't blame them. I was that Asian guy in the States, like, oh, hi, how do I get to the MRT? Where's the campus administrator? Where's my class? Like, I was just a nerdy nerd. I was naive. I was beta. I wasn't masculine dominant enough to make an impact. And that's why I remained a virgin in college and thereafter as well. Bruh. So as an Asian guy, even in Asia, even in Taiwan, and this show is filmed in China, you have to display a basic level of dominance and masculinity to consistently attract women. And so far, none of these guys have shown that. And all the guys are like, oh, the girls are cute, but the girls are like, well, who are these guys? So there's this phenomenon in Taiwan as well, where all the girls are really cute. Like, they all have good outfits, they're all pretty skinny, they all have like good skin, and they all know how to do their makeup. So when you go back to Taiwan, you're like, oh man, all these girls are like slim, model looking, they're all cute. And then you look at the guys and you're like, who are these guys? They're all like with glasses, dorky, like kind of nervous and like all socially awkward. Should I say this? Some of my white friends just tell me like they love going to Taiwan because the competition is so low.
Yeah, it'll be like taking candy from a baby.
Myself included, even like compared Thailand to Taiwan, I do much better in Taiwan because in Thailand, I have competition from some pretty good looking tourists. But in Taiwan, I'm like pretty high up there. So the dating marketplace does affect it, but I think overall Asian guys just need a little bit more dominance and a little bit more oomph on the first impression. If you don't have that, everything in life, from the moment I went to college in the States to when I was working, you know, full time in New York City, everything just feels like an uphill battle that you cannot win no matter how hard you try.
他好像对女生又不是那么的 抵触。
She's like, I don't think he understands girls that well. Is he gay? Oh man, see, this is the problem with being too feminine.
不是那么敢接近。
He's gay.
Are you gay?
This show's editing is so funny, dude. Oh no, this guy's wearing a Spidey. Oh no.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Now look, if you're like a buff dude, you got tattoos, you're like very dominant looking, and you're wearing like a cool comic like Spider-Man, the dichotomy is what attracts people, right? But he's got the Spider-Man hat on to go with that. When I was a nerd, and he talked about like anime, the girl, you can see the girl's eyes at the club like kind of glaze over, like, oh my god, he's talking about anime. Oh my god, he's talking about like programming stuff. Oh my god, I'm so bored. Becky, get me out of here. But when I went back to the club a few years later with like good style, good presentation, my voice tone, everything was like more dominant. And I'm like, hey, have you heard of this anime? And the girl's like, no, but I've been watching Netflix. Tell me more. And now they're suddenly curious about the things you're nerdy about, okay? So you have to get to a point where you have a baseline level of dominance, especially as an Asian guy in America, but even more so in Asia because so many guys are like this. So she sees her guy, she's like, what the hell is this? Oh, that's so mean.
虽然不能太看外表，但也不能。
She's like, yes, you can't put too much emphasis on the physical appearance, sure, but this is too much, man. This is too much, bro. I know how she feels because after I talked to my mom after my last breakup, I realized my priorities were messed up, and I realized that I was putting like 80% on looks. And granted, I'm someone who used to date like, you know, pretty high quality women physically, but then I realized my priorities were messed up. And my mom introduced me to some family friends, and I said, Mom, I have changed. I'm not this superficial guy anymore. But there's also, I told her like the gap is too much, you know, the gap is too high. Like I can accept this, but not this. And that's what she's saying. She said, look, I'm not all about physical appearance, but this is too much, man. Like I know my worth. This guy's too far from my what I can accept, which is understandable.
不知道怎么形容。
我觉得我们两个的外貌其实是非常搭的。
This guy is like, I think both our appearances are equal.
What?
So I don't know where these guys get the confidence from. Chinese guys, sometimes they're very isolated, like in school and with video games and being online. They haven't been out like in the real world. You have to be out in the marketplace. It's like a stock price. It's like you have to know what your stock price is relative to your competition and relative to the women, right? And these guys are clueless. They're like, oh, I'm really cool. I look great. Women love me. That prevents you from getting better because the first step of getting better is admitting where you are. Only by admitting where you are can you move forward. If you think you're here and you're here, all your energy is spent pretending like you're here. But if you admit that you're here, now the truth is here. Now you can move forward. You can say, look, maybe I need to work on my hair. Maybe I need to have better style. Maybe I need to work out. Maybe I need to do something to improve my attraction score. Whatever that might be.
这是我名片，认识一下。
哦，谢谢。
Oh, this guy's like, here's my card. Ah, it's too professional, man. Come on.
名片上注意到的是2点，第一点是我的职位是总裁。
Oh no, he's like, I hope that she recognizes me that my position is I'm the manager or the CEO. Like, come on, bro. Oh no.
Come on, man.
A lot of Asian guys make this mistake. They're like, hey, because of my position, you should sleep with me. You know, to be fair, I made this mistake too.
What?
When I graduated, my first job was project manager. I had a really good consulting job, management consulting job.
And I was like, here's my card. This girl must love me now.
And guess what? Doesn't matter. If you flaunt money or status or position and just say, hey, because I have this, now you should like me, it's almost like cringe. Now, why do Chinese guys believe this? Because we're taught by our parents that if you get the job, if you get the apartment, if you get the car, women will find you attractive, okay? And this is a very big fallacy. If you have the money, women will find the money attractive, not you. Some of my most rich private clients have the worst breakup stories because secretly, if you use money to get women, women resent you for it. You need to develop some level of game. You cannot depend on your position.
可能他性格非常好呢，是个特别好玩的男生，我觉得没关系，大家聊到一块儿。
This girl's cool. She's like, look, maybe he has a good personality. Maybe he's a chill guy. We can talk and see what happens. So at least she's open-minded enough to give him a shot. I like that about her, okay? Most girls will be like, this guy looks like a nerd. I'm not gonna give him a shot. So I respect this girl for doing that.
那你也自己开个公司？
对，白手起家的。
Okay, he's an entrepreneur, he has his own company, and looks like he's pretty proud of bragging. He's like, oh, I have this real estate worth this much, and she's like, oh god, it's so cringe.
我选旅游。
我一般是靠那些航空公司给我的积分。
Oh no, this guy's bragging again. He has no other strategy. He's like, I'm a member of this airline. I have all these miles, and I can travel like I want. Because he was asking her what she did, and she's like, I like to travel. And he's like, oh,
先走了。
Now she's like, I gave him a shot, but now it's like, I want to leave.
给我按摩。
This girl's writing down every day. She's writing down rules for him to follow, and this guy just being a puppy dog, like looking at this. Oh my god, they think this guy's hot. Okay, the concept is called best in breed. Alright, so you ever see like a group of like 3 girls and like 2 of the girls are like not attractive at all? And then the third girl is like average attractive, but because she's more attractive than the other 2, you find her really attractive? That's what's happening here. Because this is the only guy that seems to have some level of style and looks somewhat like acceptable. And now all the girls like, well, I have trash here, so I'm gonna just go eat like fast food because it's the only food I can eat. I'm gonna pick this guy. I know sometimes a lot of like shady models do this. They'll like deliberately pick someone who they know they're better looking than, and then they'll go on a double date. Or they'll like models like to go to castings right after someone else who's like uglier than them goes, and then they go right after them. They'll stand right next to them because they know that there's this effect happening, and the director is more likely to pick them. This girl looks too weird. What's going on? Come on, bro. Come on. Oh, no. Shows it off. Come on, man.
长得帅。
She's like, I don't think any of the guys are, you know, as good looking as my guy. Again, my guy's not that good looking, but these other guys are terrible, so I'm gonna stick with my guy. This guy is not that good looking. His style sucks, but he's got more color than the other guys, and he's got a little bit more facial expression. His face looks normal. It doesn't look like he's like, you know, has some kind of disease. So he's the only one that's acceptable, and the girls are just like, this is the only choice. And so women, a lot of times, it's called the proximity effect, where you're competing within your sphere of influence, right? 50 years ago, we were competing with, you know, other guys in our school, other guys in our social circle, other guys who live close to us. But if you have your phone with you, they don't have their phones here. You're competing with every good-looking guy in your city. Sometimes even every good-looking guy in the world, because they can fly into your city or they can fly your girl out. So now the competition's way higher. But in this case, they don't have their phones. This is the only guy that's there, and they're picking him.
你为什么一直在偷笑？
没有啊。
She's like, why are you sneakily smiling? And he's like, no, I'm not. Well, he's smiling because he's like, wow, I'm the best looking guy here. That usually doesn't happen. CEO guy correctly corrects him. It's called couple, not cups. She's like, look at my couples.
当时你跟蒋宇2个人一起去的吗？
啊，对对。
Oh, he's like, I've seen you somewhere. Oh, he's being like a fanboy. If you're not like up to par, everything you say, the girl's gonna be like, oh, okay. Oh. But if you're good looking, oh, really? Oh, that's nice. Oh. But again, we can't control our genetics, right? But we can control our behavior patterns, the way we speak, our style. All of those can be changed.
美国那边念书回来的。啊。在美国那边回来的。
Okay, so CEO guy, to a very extreme, he's doing what most successful guys do to a very extreme degree, which is first, he's basically trying to build commonality by saying, I've seen you on this show. I know the guy who knows a friend who's on this show. He's trying too hard to search for commonality. And then he's going to say, oh, I have this like really high, like really cool membership with the airlines. I get all these miles. He's trying to show off his wealth. Both of those don't work. Even if you're good looking, it only works a little bit because it's not effective, right? Instead of trying really hard to build commonality, what you can do instead is say, oh, I don't know anything about that, tell me more. So you're basically admitting the fact that you have nothing in common with her, and you're asking her to tell you what she's into, okay? And then once she tells you that, you can say, you know what, I actually do know a little about tennis. Tell me more. Don't brag about your accomplishments, talk about your journey. You know, I was like 3 years ago, I was broke and I started my business in my mom's basement. And now like I'm so fortunate now that I actually have like, you know, I can fly around for free and I have this company. I'm really grateful, okay? It sounds a lot better than, oh yeah, I got all this stuff. It's so cool. You should date me because I'm rich.
然后09年我又在那边继续读 PhD， 读到14年回国。
This guy got his PhD overseas and he came back to China, really? And he started his own company. So it sounds very impressive.
一家日本企业工作了1年之后，自己开始创业。
He worked in Japan for a year also? Whoa. So he's either really accomplished or he's bragging or he's lying.
play game，
play game，play game，日语说游戏是说 play game 嘛。
And then she tests him. Hey, how do you say this in Japanese? And he messes it up.
说我先去洗个澡吧。
不太正常。
Constant glasses, kind of nerdy, and a little bit feminine features. Those are not attractive to women. And if he wants to get a girlfriend, he has to change those habits, unfortunately, just like I did.
我会考虑他的感受。
The Thai guy is saying, I'm not switching because I like someone else. I'm switching so I can get to know everyone and make a right decision. So it's a very abundant mindset rather than most Asian guys. Like they find one girl, like, oh my god, don't go, please don't leave.
其实你可以边走边思考。
These guys get to pick the girls, and all these girls are like, please don't pick me. This is not even a dating show. This is like torture.
地上最好的，其实我都不用去。
Look at her facial expression. He's like, oh, what should I pick now? I'm nerdy nerd and I want the content. And these girls like, please don't pick me. Look at their faces.
思考这个问题，我有自。
It looks like they're being water tortured. Bro, this is when crew comes in and starts to calm her down. What is going on? Telling that the girl's like, I don't want him. I don't want him. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at this. What? She's scared. We don't have footage at nighttime, so I don't know if she's just overreacting because he pulls in the blankets a little bit. Maybe she's being too hard on him. You guys have heard of the halo effect, right? The halo effect is this halo that attractive people get rated as more intelligent, kinder than people that see their pictures. And unattractive people get the opposite of the halo effect. They get like a negative buff, okay? I'm a nerd, I know. I'm a gaming nerd. So they get a negative buff, so everything they do is like seen as worse. The discrimination you face when you're not average, when you're negative, is worse than the halo effect when you're positive. So it's important for most people to get to a point where they're at least average in the dating market. He walks over and she freaks out. Like, did he do something to her like at nighttime, or is she overreacting? What is going on? One of the comments says, I would be crying too if I was paired with that bald guy. No, this is crazy. Okay, the first episode ends here. This is a wild show, so I'll end it here. Subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, enjoy.